Boost podcast. As you can tell, Aiden is missing. Reason being, he's being a good student. He has a bunch of tests and things, so he is hard at work studying and, trying to make a good future for himself. So, Aiden, good work, good decision on doing that. But that's not going to stop us from getting a podcast out. So, with that in mind, we are going to go ahead and get into this podcast, which is going to be NFL. Just so you guys know, we have made a decision. We're going to release 2 podcasts a week for everybody. We're going to do one covering NFL, another one covering the NCAA football. And once basketball starts, is that going to add 2 more episodes? I don't know. We're going to find out. To be determined. We'll see how things go. So, let's get right into it. Good week of football, I guess. It's kind of boring for the most part, actually. I feel like it was not very offensive, so a lot of the games are very slow moving. I did watch the majority of the games through Red Zone, so just to keep up with my fantasy team, things like that, I went ahead and did that. So very slow moving, not really exciting unless you're a Cowboys fan. Then, yeah, or San Francisco. I mean, those are about the 2 most exciting teams, I guess. So week 1, we had 2 games for the NFL that we went in and placed who we think is going to win. First game was the Cardinals at the Commanders. Aiden was very positive that the Cardinals were going to win that. I tried to tell him and warn him that they were not, and they did not. The Commanders won that. So that puts me up a game on him for the NFL. And with that, if you guys remember, we did a bet to see whoever the loser is had to take a shot of something nasty. So I know he does not like hot, spicy foods, so his is hot sauce. Mine was mustard. Thankfully, I won. I don't have to do the shot. Aiden will be doing the shot in the college football episode at the end of that, so definitely tune in if you want to see him take a shot of hot sauce, which is going to light him up because he is very weak when it comes to spicy foods. So you don't want to miss that. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Next game that we did was the Cowboys and Giants. I was confident that the Giants were going to win. Aiden was very confident that the Cowboys were going to win. A little bit of bias there because I do hate the Cowboys. But that's okay. They smashed the Giants. It was not even a game, not even close, not even fun to watch. In fact, once it started happening, I stopped watching very quickly because to me that's not entertaining watching the Cowboys win. To others, maybe. Week 2, we have our picks in for that. We have first game that we picked, Vikings at Eagles, 7-point favorites in favor of Philadelphia. I don't think this is really going to be a close game unless the Eagles just are regressing and maybe offensively not as strong as they were last year, which, again, after week 1, it's very hard to determine anything about any of these teams. But both Aiden and I agree that the Eagles are going to win this game. Vikings lost to the Buccaneers. Shout out to the Bucs. Let's go. But the Vikings lost to them, so I don't feel very confident that they are going to beat Philadelphia in this matchup. Next one is Ravens at Bengals, which should be very interesting. The Bengals did not look good at all. And yikes. Cincinnati currently is a 3.5-point favorite on Sunday. Aiden has picked the Ravens. I'm going to go with the Bengals bouncing back. I'm taking the Bengals in this game. I like Joe Burrow. I do like that offense, and I think they're going to figure things out. And I have a feeling that the Ravens are going to be in for a little bit of a hurt because they're going to come in determined to win this game after the poor showing they had last week. The last game that we picked 3, and we'll probably do 3 going forward. The Saints at Panthers. Monday Night Football game in Charlotte. I think Aiden and I both agree on this one too. New Orleans is only favored 3 points. I think it's going to be more than that they ended up winning by. But we both took the Saints in this game. I think that offense is going to be too much to handle. And I think that on the flip side, the Panthers offense is just not good enough yet to be able to do that. Bryce Young had a decent first game, but I don't foresee them really being that great in his first year. So we both took the Saints there. Player of the week. So we picked the offensive player of the week and the defensive player of the week here. Tyreek Hill. Sheesh. If you had him on your fantasy team, man, you loved that. We watching that game, because I was watching it mainly because I drafted Chargers players, so obviously that game very much so intrigued me in hopes that Keenan Allen was going to get in the end zone, which he did, but it got called back, and he was short, unfortunately, which broke my heart. But it's okay. I still won my first fantasy game. I'll take that all day long. But Tyreek Hill, man, 11 receptions, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, man. Tyreek freaking Hill just keeps on being great. And I should have drafted him. I should have done it. That's on me. I should have taken him, but I didn't. Actually, I don't think he fell to me. I think he went before I picked anyway, so he was gone. But either way, I still wish I could have got him because, dang, he's so good. Defensive player, Jesse Bates III, Atlanta Falcons, 10 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. The man went off. He wanted to make sure, after getting that fat check, that people knew he meant business and that he wasn't a flop and they were paying him for a reason. And he went out and the man proved himself to be true and flexed on him and came in big. Number 3 thing that we want to talk about, we always like to talk about this, and this is really, at this point, the podcast is not going to be very long. Obviously, without the banter back and forth between Aiden and I, Aiden telling us stories of how he can cover NFL wide receivers or play quarterback or be a wide receiver himself in the NFL and all these elaborate things, drinking milk. He drunk milk on the podcast. Without all that, obviously it's going to be a little bit short because it's just me talking. You really only hear my side. So I'm sorry this one is going to be short. But going forward, we will always do our best to get out content. And we wanted to make sure we got something out to you guys. So, again, the next segment, Bets of the Week. This is one of my favorite ones. If you can place them, then, again, we're going to give you some here that we like. Ravens over Bengals. It's plus 150 right now. Very possible that the Bengals don't get their stuff together and come out and look bad again. The Ravens have a good defense and can have an explosive offense. So this one could go either way. We put that at number 3, plus 150. Commanders over Broncos, another game that's at plus 150. Commanders could come out and win that one. The Broncos not looking good again, really. until we see upside, I think, from Russell Wilson in the offense there, I don't know if we can sit here and pick them to win really many of the games. Maybe if they play Houston, we'll pick that game. But right now, we're going to take the Commanders over the Broncos here. And the number one, I like this one. I picked this one. Aiden had nothing to do with this because, again, he's being good and studying for his future. Jags over the Chiefs. Kansas City, to me, did not look good in that game Thursday night. So I like the Jaguars here. I think they're going to come in. They want to prove themselves this year. And Kansas City is basically just trying to prove that they're still dominant. Obviously, if Travis Kelce is back, then that's going to be huge, and that is going to help them out a lot. But outside of him returning, I still don't think they looked that great. So, to me, I'm picking the Jags over the Chiefs in this one. I think that's a lock this week. I would take that. It's plus 160. Put the bet in. Tag me in that when you put that bet in. It's going to hit for you. I promise. And our last and final segment here on the pod is going to be fantasy football starts and sits of the week. Starts of the week. Tyreek Hill. I think he's going to terrorize that New England secondary. I think he's going to have another big week. And right now, until the man shows that he has any signs of slowing down, he is a must start. Number 2 start of the week, Josh Allen versus the Raiders. I think he's going to come back after that horrific game with 4 turnovers. I think he's going to bounce back and want to say, hey, look, I'm still the man. And he's going to take it to the Raiders, which I hope he kind of does, because that means the Raiders are going to be throwing the ball, and Devontae Adams needs some receptions and touchdowns for me on fantasy. So I am hoping that does happen. Force them to throw the ball for me. Sits of the week. Number 1, because he looked terrible, and I believe he had over 20 rushes. I think it was like 22 rushes. Cam Akers. And they're playing San Francisco. The dude did nothing. I think he had like 20 yards on 20 rushes or something. Something stupid like that. He was terrible. Not good. And they're playing San Francisco, who has a great defense. No way I would start that man. No way. I think he's about to lose his starting job, or maybe he's going to take off. I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be the reverse. If you have him on your team, I would probably try to get the upside on him right now and trade him. Other sit of the week, Arizona's defense. Not that I think they're even rostered on many people's leagues, but I do feel the Giants are going to come out. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley are going to light it up, because after taking that beating that they took from the Cowboys, losing 40-0, they're going to be out for some blood. And what better way to do it than going against the worst team in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals, maybe second worst next to Houston. They're both very bad. But what better way for them to get a bounce back game than going to playing a team like that? So, again, those are the sits there. As always, we want to thank you guys for listening to the podcast, for watching the podcast. Again, Aiden wishes he could have been here on this one and joined me, but unfortunately he was unable to. We are going to probably readjust when podcasts get released. We would like to do, again, 2 a week, so we're thinking maybe a Tuesday, Thursday release or something like that. It's to be determined still, primarily because if we do it that way, Monday night game may not get played, so which we could do the college one for Tuesday and then Thursday be your NFL one. So this, again, we're going to work that out for you guys. We want to put out more content, so 2 shows, in 1 week is going to be able to allow us to focus a little bit more on things. This is the first one we're doing this way, and it's going to be a quick one with Aiden not being here. We're going to try to keep these podcasts around 20 to 30 minutes max for you guys. Something easy to listen to on the way into work, on your lunch break, on your way home from work, something in that nature. Because I know for me, that's all I do on my way into work usually. Turn a podcast on, enjoy it, take something in, and then go. Or on the way home too. Both of those. I like to just listen to stuff. Because I don't really do that at work. I listen to music while I work because that gets me motivated. Podcasts are more my wind down. Let's learn something, listen to something type thing. So that's how I do it. Not that it matters. Not that you care. I'm just rambling on at this point. I'm going to go ahead and end it right here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Please comment to us on Instagram, TikTok. I don't care where. Spotify. Let us know if you like the podcast. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. Let us know what you'd like to see changed. We appreciate everybody listening. And until next time, GG.